Welcome to this lesson. In our previous lesson, we discussed some physical features of both male and female adolescents. In this lesson, we are going to continue with other features of adolescents. First off, we start with mental features or mental characteristics of adolescents. The first thing is that as adolescents, they begin to have an increased ability to generalize facts. So, for example, if at age 6 you watched an action movie and you didn't like it, you then watch another action movie at age 8. So the life experiences increase. And so by age 12, you realize that generally you just don't like watching movies, not just related to action movies. So adolescents are able to generalize facts. Then again, they are also able to develop the ability to think critically and solve problems because their mental faculties begin to develop. And as they develop, they also gain ability to think critically and solve problems on their own. Then adolescents also begin to have the ability to plan for the future and see prospects. Here, when the adolescent is able to realize their talent and their capabilities, then they begin to plan for the future. That, oh, in future, I want to be a doctor, I want to be an engineer, just because they have been able to identify their talent and their capabilities. So generally, adolescents begin to plan for the future and see prospects. Then they also have the ability to argue about topics of interest and also see issues of morality. As adolescents grow, they begin to have the ability to see what is good and what is bad. Then they are able to argue based on things that interest them. We go to social characteristics. The first thing is that as adolescents, they begin to try to gain popularity among their friends. So here, you realize that adolescents begin to have nicknames. They try to dress to impress and do things just so that amongst their peers, they will be recognized more than the others. Then also, they tend to associate more with their peers than with anybody else. So adolescents have the tendency to speak to their peers on issues concerning their health, concerning their emotions, and every other thing, and sometimes even sideline their own parents. Then again, adolescents try to become members of more prestigious groups. The previous point said that they try to gain popularity, but here they try to join groups that are of high prestige so that they can also have a sense of belonging. And then finally, they try to get or they begin to form strong boy and girl relationships. When we talk about emotional characteristics of adolescents, the first thing is that they begin to have a sense of inner freedom. Adolescents want to have the freedom to go out. They want to have the freedom to do what they like and at what time. And so between these age ranges, they don't like to be controlled. They want to do things at their own will. And then also they have the tendency to become easily irritated. You see something very small, then they become angry because the emotions at this level are very heightened. And so it is very easy for them to become irritated. And then also, they sometimes feel lonely. Either they want to be alone in their room or wherever they are, or they just feel lonely that there's nobody with them in this world. So this brings us to the end of this lesson. In this lesson, we have discussed some social characteristics, emotional characteristics, and mental characteristics of adolescents. In our next lesson, we will talk about the adolescent reproductive health system. See you